Here we come, wassailing among the leaves so green. Oh, here we come, wandering so fair to be seen. Love and joy come to you, and to you your wassail too. And may God bless you and send you a happy new year. God send you a happy new year. Good morning, and Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. Let me get my chair real fast. It's always so troublesome to position. There you go. Hello. It's Christmas Eve. And for as happy as I am, I do in fact have a low. If you live in my area at all, it is very cold outside right now. Very cold. I would not be surprised if actually, hold on, I have the, look at my computer on the ground. It's 1 degree outside. Right, 1 degree, singular, only one. 1 degree. Is that cold outside? I do not like the cold. Full disclosure, I'm going to be wearing layers the entire day whenever I go out, which will be rather often today. But considering the weather that we got yesterday and how cold it's going to be today, my area is guaranteed a white Christmas. So if a white Christmas is your thing, I do like a white Christmas. I do. It feels, I don't know, it feels kind of wholesome, which is ironic because white Christmas implies snow implies cold, and cold isn't necessarily what you would consider wholesome, but it works. I mean, I'm gonna be with my family a lot this weekend. I'm gonna be with my father all day today, so I'm looking forward to it. But my high is, gosh, what is my high? Well, for one thing, my high is the fact I made it back here alive last night. Seriously, you have like no idea how bad the weather was. I mean, it was snowing heavy on and off for like a little bit, and eventually it kind of settled down, but the wind, man, just the wind. Good Lord. I mean, you already have probably -degree wind chill, but now you're just like, and you gotta drive through that. Man, my car could not get warm. A person's car could not get warm fast enough. Seriously, there are some people whose car doors are probably frozen at the moment. Because, you know, the condensation and heat. It's going to be warm inside your car, probably going to melt. Yeah, it's complicated. The point is, it's cold outside. Another high is the fact that, I mean, we're already at Christmas Eve, guys. Can you believe that? I didn't think we'd make it here. Well, of course I thought we'd make it here, but I didn't think it's like, it went by, this month went by fast. It went by really fast. I mean, don't get me wrong, maybe from my perspective, I just found a whole bunch of stuff to do and, you know, talk about doing this. I mean, do I even need to mention the Why I'm Still Here videos I did? But I guess doing all that just made everything fly by. It was crazy. Let's see. For my act of kindness, well, Actually, from my kindness, I chauffeured my grandmother around yesterday. That was a good thing. Yeah, again, it was rather a very cold and uneventful day. But in a lot of ways, it is kind of what you need, especially around this time of year. I mean, some people aren't as fortunate. They're probably busy today and stuff like that. And, they want to be with their families and they're probably not. Or maybe you want to be busy today. I don't know. I don't know what your personal preference is. But I guess it is a good thing that Christmas Eve is on a Saturday, which reminds me, happy Saturday, everyone. And of course, again, Merry Christmas Eve. In terms of what the plan is for today, I mean, I do have a plan. It's just vastly different from literally everything we've done on Christmas Eve my entire life. Why, for 32 years we've done what I'm about to tell you now. And now I have to make it through today. But how? Yeah. I quoted the Grinch right there, for those of you who are wondering. Oh, actually, you get the idea. So, normally on Christmas Eve, that's when my family gets together for a nice prime rib dinner with, all sorts of other food and stuff. But this year, for the first time ever, actually, that's not entirely true. Because growing up, we would have Christmas Eve at my late aunt's house. And sometimes my mom, and like every other year, my mom would work. But since we decided to have Christmas at my folks' place, my mom's never had to work on Christmas Eve. This is the first time she's ever had to work on Christmas Eve. She's off on Christmas Day tomorrow, which is good. And actually, come to think of it, she's always been off on Christmas Eve, but she's always had to work on Christmas Day. So, in some ways, it's a good thing that it's been reversed. It is. It's just, again, vastly different from everything that we know and everything we've done. And it's been a pleasant experience. I'm glad that was our thing. I'm glad I've gotten used to stuff like that because, listen, as much as I love my both my parents, as much as I love my parents, I know they're not going to be around forever. There will be times where I will need them and they are not there. Or I wish they would be there and they are not there. But you gotta roll with the punches. And this provides another opportunity to do that. And don't get me wrong, of course I wish my mom well today when she's at work. And I'm going to be seeing her later tonight. So it's not like it's going to be forever. Although, I told myself I would never ever do this. But a year ago, and you may remember this, on Christmas Eve I wound up going to church not once but twice. Once in the afternoon, and then once at night with my mom and dad. And it looks like today is going to be the exact same thing. Because I'm going to be going to church with my father today in Corning at 4. And then when my mom arrives from work, probably sometime after 8, we then have to scurry on over back here to Elmira and then go to church again at 9. Which, you know what, why not? Maybe I guess it's sort of my punishment for all those times I've ever made fun of or disliked going to church. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Growing up, I hated going to church. Now as an adult, I'm much more appreciative of it. But I still find it boring. And Lord only knows what tonight's going to bring. Or maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe it'll be... Well, actually, last year I did. It really wasn't that bad. It's just, it's different. That's the long and short of it. It's just different. And sometimes just not used to that. I guess if I had to go to church twice in one day, sure, why not Christmas Eve? I mean, going to church twice in one day, once in the afternoon and once in night, is definitely more appealing to me than getting up in the morning. Seriously, I have been lucky to never have to go to church on Christmas morning. I have had to go to church on Easter morning, though. That was a nightmare. Because, for those of you who don't know, as much as people like to say they're Christian or Catholic, some people only go to Mass or church once or twice a year. And usually it's, Christmas and Easter. Meaning, when, people who regularly go, such as myself, and they get to church, again, say today, it's going to be packed. Like straight amateur night. And it's unbelievable. Speaking of things that are unbelievable, check this out. So every year, I get like an advent calendar, but when I was in college and started getting one because growing up, my brother and I always share this. I hated sharing that. So did he. So when we were both old enough to get our own, like when I was in college, wait a minute. I could save a bunch of these for when I'm done with college finals. And then, if you couldn't tell, this is an advent calendar, by the way. I could save a bunch of these for after I finish my finals, right? And I thought, I made it this far. Why not last, 24 days? Seriously, I haven't even taken this out of the plastic yet. It's still in here, and all the chocolate is mine. Ha ha ha. I eat all of the chocolate today. That's how you're supposed. My patience will be rewarded today. I get all my chocolate. Chocolate. Okay. I'll put this away. But here's what I look at my advent calendar. You can tell it's still in the packaging because it's so shiny. Okay, I'll put this away now. Now, speaking of things that are going on today, I'm wearing this jersey for a reason. We got a lot of NFL games going on today. So Merry Christmas to all football fans. Now, let's make predictions as to who Christmas will be coming early for and who it sadly will not be coming early for. Okay, so already I'm 0-1 because the Jaguars won. Let's see. The Ravens versus the Falcons. Ravens. Lions and Panthers. Lions. Seahawks and Chiefs. Chiefs. Saints and Browns. Ooh. You know what? I think the Browns may pull this off. I'll pick the Browns today. Titans and Texans. Oh, that's easy. The Titans. Bengals and Patriots. Bengals. Giants and Vikings. First of all, before I continue, I'd like to point out, I said this before, thank you, New York Giants, for winning and getting my Cowboys into the playoffs. Thank you very much. That was a very delightful Christmas gift you gave us earlier. That being said, though, the Vikings are totally going to beat you. So, picking the Vikings. The Bills and the Bears? Are you kidding? I mean, obviously, I picked the Bills to win. And if we're being full disclosure, I want the Seahawks to beat the Chiefs. But I got to go with who I think is going to win. And the Chiefs beating the Seahawks is a sure thing. Just like the Bills beating the Bears is also a sure thing. Commanders and 49ers. Sorry, Commanders. You had a terrific season for your standards, but the 49ers got this. And now we get to the game of the day. Actually, there's two games today. that I do need to talk about. First, my Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course I'm picking my Cowboys to win. Why did I not pick them? Like, I want Christmas to come early for me. And that will happen when the Cowboys win. And now we get to tonight's game, the Raiders and the Steelers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very special game. I mean, the Raiders and Steelers, anyone who grew up watching football way back in the 70s knows how important this game is. Especially when 50 years ago, the Immaculate Reception took place. And the Steelers had won their very first playoff game ever against the Oakland Raiders. And the Immaculate Reception happened. Which, yes, I'm very well aware of the fact that the legendary Franco Harris passed away. He was the one who made the Immaculate Reception and ran it in for the touchdown. Very sad. Rest in peace, Franco Harris. As for who wins tonight, I don't know. Believe it or not, both teams still have playoff hopes. At this point in the season, 9 losses, I'm pretty sure is going to guarantee you're not making the playoffs. And both teams are right now 6-8. You know what? I think the Steelers are going to play extra hard because of the passing of Franco Harris. So to honor that, a great man, he may have played for the Steelers, and those Steelers may have been a nightmare for my Cowboys back then. But you know what? Real always recognize real. So you know what? I'm picking the Steelers to win over the Raiders. I don't usually do that, but in honor of Franco Harris, I have to. So my picks today are the Ravens, the Lions, the Chiefs, the Browns, the Titans, the Bengals, the Vikings, the Bills, the 49ers, the Cowboys, and the Steelers. Hopefully Christmas will come early for some. Perhaps, maybe not so much for others. Only time will tell. But for now, I wish you all a Merry Christmas Eve. I'll be back here tomorrow. I can't wait. I'll probably wear this jersey again. Let's have a great Christmas Eve, shall we? I hope y'all liked this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on social media. As always, I am very humble to make this video. For all of you guys that watch and enjoy today, hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday, as well as a wonderful Christmas Eve. And I should probably reiterate this. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you have a lovely day anyway. Come to think, I think tonight may be the last night of Hanukkah. So, if you're celebrating Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah. I'm not Jewish, so we don't celebrate Hanukkah, but lots of people do, and if you celebrate Hanukkah, good for you. Happy Hanukkah. And as always, if you ever want to talk to I'm always going to be here to lend you know, always ever back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby. Merry Christmas Eve.